Thanks for waiting around. Did we get your breakfast?
Where's the waiting?
We're ready to start getting ready. We want to bring up Norm Kerr, who's several times, worked our feet out. We're going to bring up Deputy Chief Angel Lavos to discuss our meetings with you for a while. That recently occurred. And then I'm going to come back with some comments and then we'll get back. Norm?
Good morning. I am Norman Kerr, Director of the Office of Violence Reduction. As you hear us say weekly, Mayor Lightfoot is committed to an all-government and all-city response to address violence. The summer safety strategy is a coordinated effort that includes participation from various city departments to collectively focus on 15 areas on the south and west side of Chicago due to consistent violence over the past 3 summers. And while we are grateful to CPD, Chicago Public Libraries, and the Department of Buildings, to name a few, today I want to lift up the work that our community partners have demonstrated, not just over the weekends, but on a nightly basis all year. These are concerned groups that are engaging those that are violent and likely to be violent, and those that are likely to be victimized, and these groups are engaging them to help address their needs. Street outreach teams are working throughout the city to interrupt violence before it happens and to mitigate possible retaliation. These are individuals who have gone through 144 hours of training and they're now tested in the field. Many of these partners are working long hours on the weekends until 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and even 6 a.m., putting their lives in harm's way. It is paramount that I express condolences to families that have experienced the loss of loved ones this year. I know firsthand, as unfortunately many Chicagoans do, the devastating loss that violence brings to families. Our victim services partners are working vigorously to support individuals and families that have been impacted by violence as needed. In challenging times like this, we must remain to stay the course and work diligently together. Again, we want to acknowledge our city departments and give special thanks to our community partners for their tireless contributions to help increase the safety of our communities and our city. Thank you. I'd like to pass to Deputy Chief Lavos.
Good morning, everybody. Norman, thank you very much for all the hard work you and folks are doing to support the whole city approach on this out here in the Chicago Police Department for decreased violence. So one of the things in community policing that we know is very important for the city is our effort to reach the youth in the city of Chicago. We understand that in an effort to mitigate historical and generational effects that affect the young folks and also to attempt to address that by trauma, by coaching and mentoring. We rolled out 2 programs recently. These programs are scheduled to start in September, but as the city opened up, it was incredibly important to reach the young folks in the city of Chicago. The first program we rolled out is the Neighborhood Youth Corps. This is a program in partnership with CHA. This is a wellness-based program. What we want to do is not only be able to build relationships with the youth, but also have that opportunity to coach and mentor the person with traumas. It's a speaker-based series where we engage the youth and try to broaden their horizons. We also give them the opportunity to engage with entrepreneurs across the city of Chicago. We also have them interact with law enforcement agencies, not just our own, but the county sheriffs and others. And we take them outside where they're comfortable, their neighborhoods, field trips, like the yacht club, Jefferson Park. We'll take them out to the food dispensary so they understand the importance of giving. This is a 6-week program. It closes with a capstone project where the youth and some of the staff will work with the kids for this program to close it off. And the other thing I wanted to touch on was the PAC, the police have voted in March. Once again, this was a program that's going to go out a little later, but as the city opened up, it was incredibly important to reach the city. So the Chicago PAL program, in partnership with the Chicago Park District, with the Police Athletic League of the City of Chicago, the National Black McDonald's Operators Association, and the Chicago Men's Baseball Team will be hosting a series of baseball camps once again to try to reach the younger in our city. The youth will be from the ages of 6 to 13 years of age. Those years will be West Fulton, Foster Park, and Columbus Park. What we want to do is, with your help, let all the parents out there know that please trust us with the opportunity to coach your children so we can make those inroads. If you want to register your child, please, you can reach us at PAL, P-A-L, at ChicagoPolice.org, and register that out there. Or you can reach our office at 312-745-5900, or you can sign up at any of those sites. With that being said, thank you very much. And thank you very much for everything up here for all the hard work you've done this summer.
Now, I'll make a few comments. I'm going to recap my visit on yesterday to all at the White House with President Biden and Attorney General Garland, along with other police and city leaders, including Mayor Bowser with Washington, D.C., and Bronx Bureau Representative Eric Adams. So the discussion was significant and substantive. We actually spent an extra hour that was not scheduled. It was scheduled for 1 hour. We ended up carrying over the discussion an additional hour. There was a shared vision amongst the group about the need to have a sense of urgency. There was an agreement that there must be real consequences for serious crimes. We discussed both short-term and long-term solutions. Public safety and community building and reinvestment was discussed. There was consensus that those two go hand in hand. There was an emphasis amongst the group of stopping the flow of illegal guns into our cities. It's key to solving some of the violent crimes that we're seeing. In the coming days here in Chicago, we will be rolling out some of our strategies to include the strike force and other gun trafficking investigative strategies. As the Mayor Lightfoot says, it will take a whole of government approach, which includes our federal, county, and state partners. And the impact should be viewed as the public safety ecosystem to include the root causes of crime from a public health approach as the long-term strategy. I gave you an opportunity to talk one-on-one with Attorney General Garland, the mayor of Chicago. And finally, there will be significant follow-up. This wasn't a one-off meeting. We had actionable items that we listed. We left a point of contact for follow-up. There were several things that needed some follow-up that could be resolved in the discussion. Now I'll go right into some additional comments I'd like to make on this stuff, if you don't mind. I'm going to go through what we kind of go through all the time, kind of the weekend, this past weekend, even though it was Tuesday, we only have this Monday report of the past weekend challenges that relate to our crime strategy. Over the weekend, there were 94 guns recovered by Chicago police officers. Gun recovery is a potential deadly force in camera that needs to be counted multiple times. And every gun recovery is a potential life saved, since we're experiencing extraordinary gun violence. Year to date, gun recoveries are up 27%. We recovered 6,362 guns so far this year. Of those 6,000 guns, 321 are assault weapons. And now I'd like to highlight a particular notable case that occurred over the weekend. Shortly before 9 p.m. on July 10th, in the 10th district, we responded to a multiple shot spotter technology alert, followed by multiple calls of a person shot just down the street from the Cook County Jail. On arrival, officer observed discovered a 31-year-old non-grade LNERE a unresponsive from having sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the head and body. Approximately 59 fire shell cases were scattered on the street near his scene. Additional officers discovered 2 women who miraculously escaped serious harm. One sustained a graze wound and the other was struck in the knee. Sylvester was transported outside the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The 2 women are listed in good condition. Let me recount what our area 4 detectives discovered, learned after their initial investigation of this case to seek out evidence for bringing offenders to justice on this. Sylvester was released from the Chicag village. We talked about walking out of the jail. He was shot and killed. 2 other women were injured. He was released from custody and placed on electronic monitoring as a condition of bond. So he walked out on electronic monitoring. He was in custody on multiple charges, including armed habitual and felony aggravated assault of a vehicle against the arresting officers in that felony assault. On August 1st, this is a lot of information. I'm going to try to talk a little slow to get it all in. On August 1st of 2020, Sylvester was paroled and discharged. On the 29th of December 2020, Sylvester was put on electronic monitoring and released. On the 1st of June 2021, Sylvester was given permission to leave the jurisdiction on electronic monitoring. On June the 15th, 2021, the state filed a petition for a violation of bond on Sylvester. On the 21st of June 2021, Sylvester was back in custody. It appears for a violation of his electronic monitoring. On July 1st, the court granted a motion for the initial parole violation to set bond at $50,000 in electronic monitoring. And on July 10th, after this bond was met, $50,000 bond, power bond was met, he was released for the next court day. He was on the final bond for what is the second or third time for his court day on July 27th. By the time Sylvester died from the Hill gunfire, he had a total of 22 arrests, 7 felonies, 12 misdemeanors, and 2 convictions. It is not for his lifestyle choices. On his Sylvester's death, most surely endanger everyone around him. The 3 words inked beneath the target text on his throat, summed up his lifestyle. Feel to survive was his text. The rest was in custody, as I mentioned, on Cook County Jail on multiple charges, including armed habitual and felony aggravated assault. He was a parole UUW, a weapon, by a felon, convicted felon for using a firearm. His long criminal record did keep him there long. He was accompanied with 2 women by a 6-year-old woman. He walked down the street with his victim, and he was headed back into the street. As you know, he never made it. This targeted execution were by 2 vehicles that exited, or gunmen exited these 2 vehicles and fired multiple times. As I mentioned, left behind 59 fire shell cases. It's a miracle. The 2 women, one accompanied Sylvester, and the other mission innocent lives that are not associated with him at all. It's miraculous that they weren't shot and killed as well. All these prior arrests, these serious felonies, these very violent crimes, didn't keep him in jail. And it created an unsafe environment for others to put him on that time. It's incredible that he was eligible for that time. It's madness. It's making us all less safe. If one life is saved by this discussion of violent offenders, dangerous people being released into the community, and this debate, whether you want to call it finger board, which Gary has called it, we call it dissent, and we call it strong advocacy for victims. Sylvester is a victim. He was murdered. These two men were shot. They're victims. And law enforcement, all of us standing here before you, are sworn to be advocates for victims. This year so far, the Texas criteria at least 188 homicide cases as we continue to work and seek justice for victims of senseless violence. Clearance rate is at 49.2%. Currently on pace to surpass last year's historic 15-year high in clear cases. Example of a couple of more cases. Brian Hart, 13 of 20 block of West Washington Boulevard, was arrested by members of the Great Lakes Regional Task Force on July 8, 2021, in 800 block of Markham, Indiana. He was identified as a offender on October 18, 2020, shot and killed a 26-year-old woman in 7500 block. He was charged with one felony count of murder in the first degree. Great police work. Raquan Drake, 22, in 800 block of South Carolina, was arrested on July 10, 2021, in 900 block of Auckland, West Auckland, at approximately 8 p.m. He was identified as the offender who showed up with early shot and killed a 26-year-old man in 800 block of South Carolina. He was charged with one count of felony murder in the first degree. Chicago House of Women Report, putting violent people in jail and charging with murder. Finally, before I take questions, a total of 35 now, 35 Chicago insurance have been shot at or shot this year. 9 of those 35 have been struck by gunfire. This follows last year's 79 Chicago police officers who were shot at or shot, the most ever on record in Chicago City. Despite the risk of their own personal safety, Chicago police officers continue to show up to protect people of Chicago. God bless Chicago police officers, the men and women, and their families. With that, I'll take questions.
You mentioned that there will be short-term and long-term solutions facing this increase in violence. Can you specify what are the short-term solutions?
Can't specify this enough. I know I'm getting repetitive. Keeping violent offenders in jail longer will reduce violent crime in Chicago.
What happens while they're in jail? Will they get any kind of help or counseling? What's going to change them?
We not are against advocacy for the offender. We are not against advocacy for offenders. We believe offenders re-entry programs. We believe there should be resources. We believe there should be job training, education. We believe there should be mental health services, drug treatment services. We believe in all that. But we also believe, more importantly, in the prioritization of victims and the Constitution's right to life and liberty being paramount, more than anything else is done. The priority for government is to protect people. But we don't disagree with advocacy for offenders and all the services they need. We're just making our point strongly and unapologetically for victims. Victims who are paramount for it. Next question.
Superintendent, Ivy Wilson said that people must know before they act, and there's no educator compared with the press. So as we try to educate the public about this strike force thing, and how you're looking to work with the feds, what is your hope and vision for how this strike force might operate to better help the conversation?
I think the biggest part of the whole government approach is to bring in all of our, first of all, law enforcement departments be on the same page, working on the same type of cases. So the strike force is a great example of this, where I call it back in firearms, ATF. The strike force is a collaboration between ATF and Chicago Police Department to include an increase in the capacity to, number one, do the work that they're already focused on doing, gun tracing crime. When I mentioned 59 cases found at scene, those cases will be put in a system, and that work will be done in collaboration with ATF to identify the guns used, so that when we have arrests made by offenders and gun recoveries, we can charge people based on that investigative work. So gun tracing crime is one part. The second part, though, is the work that needs to be done with greater urgency on the front end of violent crime or handgun abuse or firearms abuse, where we focus on the flow of guns. The strike force will focus on the flow of guns, which includes buyers and sellers of illegal guns.
With that being
We'll
said,
have more to come. We'll have more to come on that particular issue. We'll roll out this strike force plan to include the internal work group collaborating with the strike force. That's more detail and more to come.
Folks, would you mind identifying yourselves and where you're from, please?
What did the Biden administration offer you that you don't already have here in Chicago? And did the president or anyone else in the White House mention gun control legislation?
So one of the things that was offered up was, number one, President did a lot of this. I know that seems like a trivial thing, but he really listened, and he was honest about what he wanted to focus on. In addition to listening, being open and honest, we talked about strategies that are working at some level, increasing the capacity. So one of the options was increasing capacity to deal with this extraordinary increase in violent crime across the country. Any and all resources. There's some already on the table. The ARP money is on the table for the criminal ecosystem. To include many of the things we talked about earlier before I began discussing programs for young people, jobs, street outreach, violence interrupters. I mean, the whole ecosystem. Not just the enforcement piece, that's one part of it. I mean, most dangerous people need to be taken on the street. That's clearly our focus from a law perspective, but there's an ecosystem here that we all have to focus on. This is not going to be a mass incarceration effort. We know that didn't work. But this can't be releasing violent people back to these communities to not only endanger others, but endanger the very people you are releasing. It is not making us safer. It's not making offenders safer, nor is it making the people around them safer.
What about gun control? Was that mentioned in the discussion?
If it was, I don't remember. Next question.
Superintendent Brown, just kind of going back on the strike force issue and the description of how it will look, how it will work. I know I covered a news conference years ago where the ATF was pledging resources where they have a machine that they can bring out to a crime scene, fire a gun and do ballistics on the scene. Are they offering things like that to the ATF to come out to scenes with you? And is that what this strike force is going to look like? I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
We gave enough detail for you to hold your power drive until we roll out our program. We've got a couple more things we want to look at as far as what the components of this program, but we gave enough of a briefing a few minutes ago to answer your question of what kind of the framework is. some White House cookies, by the way, that my daughter called up. Yes.
I'm Joe Barrett with Wall Street Journal. How much of the criticism of the courts right now has to do with bail reform, and how much has to do more with COVID protocols? And then how much of the problem do you think is able to contribute? Like, I mean, you know, what number of murders do you think are related to actually violent people being back out on the streets?
So many people ask the questions you just asked. So hopefully you don't take this as the end of get asked, but when you ask that, you can't really follow people. When you get to what is there for, is this COVID, is this criticism of courts? And I just stick with if one person says, well, that person is an offender, are people walking with the offender, walking around the offender in a crowd trying to enjoy their Sunday evening with the offender? If one person say, I haven't put a label on this, nor have I said who's responsible. It's a criminal justice system. I'm trying to move the needle on violent offenders not being released back into these communities, risking all of our safety. I mean, any one of you could be having lunch on the patio, sitting next to an offender on email, who others are targeting to kill, and you could get shot and killed trying to enjoy your day. Because someone has made the decision that offenders' rights trump victims' rights.
Naima,
Offenders have rights, but when they harm all of us, when they are targeted for retaliation, street justice, revenge, whatever you want to call it, and others are put in harm's way, we need to rethink that policy, whatever that label is, because the advocacy in our Constitution is for the individual right to liberty and freedom and safety. From a military standpoint, that's our role, is to keep people safe.
Did you explain your, position on this issue to the president and Mr. Garland, and what did they have to say about the issue?
So this is not my position on this issue. This is all of our position. We want to be safe, right? We all want to be safe. And what can we be safe? This is prevalent throughout the country, as you know, this issue. There's a tension, and there's a healthy tension between the courts and law enforcement. We shouldn't be judge, juror, and jailer. I'm not trying to be the person that decides the sentencing. I want to move the needle on making us safe. That's my role. There is consensus on this issue among law enforcement and many others looking at this. Whether or not the pendulum is swinging to a much more moderate decision making in this area or not, I think it's yet to be determined. But this is not my position. This is a position that we all have on how to reduce violence in our state.
Have you spoken directly with the state attorney or the chief judge about your concerns recently or tried to schedule a meeting with them?
We have had multiple meetings, but this discussion should not be in the back room. This time out for back room deals on public safety. This discussion should be had right where we're having it, in the public square, for all of us to weigh in on. If we agree as a society that violent offenders should be released back into these communities that are all unsafe. That's the public square discussion. And I'm feeling on, do we agree with this?
I know what
This is the last question. This is the last question. Thank you.
Well, then before you go, Superintendent, I wonder if you could lay out your bigger gang takedown strategy. Are you working with the U.S. Attorney to identify gang and prosecute gang?
Yes, and expedite their prosecution. I think that's many conspiracy cases. We talk about gangs, we talk about the conspiracy committed. They're crime. 2 or more, 3 or more, conspiring to commit violence. It is really the heading for our effort. And it can take months, if not years, to close out these cases. Our discussion recently has been creating the capacity capacity to shorten the time to bring people to justice, whether it's criminal conspiracy, criminal enterprise, criminal network, whatever the conspiracy is, whether it's for violent crime, whether it's for drugs, driving off of violent crime. We want to create capacity that's attorneys, that's task force officers, and that's DEA, FBI focused, creating a capacity to bring these cases to a close sooner rather than a month and years that went on.
So then you haven't had any big major gang takedowns yet? There's
Multiple ones, we just can't penetrate the news cycle. We did a conference, what was that, a couple weeks ago? Yeah, well, we recounted several cases where we had some major takedowns for whatever reason we can't penetrate the news cycle, we're gonna keep at it. And I'll let you know next time we will close the case. And we might put our director Tom's work and give you some cases on the side to report on, just in between times. So we said last question, and every time we get two more, so we say two more, and then that's gonna be the last two, okay?
So we've had strike forces before. We did Operation Legend, that came through. How is this strike force going to be any different than what's been done in the past? And how hopeful are you that it's actually going to make a difference and not just be another strike force?
I think one of the things that's important to note here regarding the strike force is that it's more than that. It's money, support, beyond funding for impact on the public safety ecosystem from a whole government approach. That's unique. We hadn't had that from the top. It is so encouraging that funding for free outreach, programs for intervention for our young people, jobs and the like, is part of this public safety effort. Like if we had that in the 90s, we get everybody on that. So this makes more sense. So this is the first effort that's different than we've ever seen. So excited about getting work on this because, again, some is short-term, but a lot of this will be a long-term strategy that impacts young people and adults, changing behavior. It's not just incarceration. I think we had one last question.
Naima Latif with the On Air News Network.
He actually had the last question now. And yeah.
Well, let's just quickly, I know people worry about this. How do we prevent the average young person who may fit a profile from being unfairly profiled in this quest to end violence?
So one of the things, it started this way, the police athletically programs where law enforcement interact with young people is one part of what we're discussing. And on Curve came before that briefing that we gave, talking about the work that street outreach is doing, deployed out in the community to try to tap down on many of the police that we provide, many of the arguments, conflict resolution, and the training that they get to tap down on the decisions young people make, to help them make a better, different decision than to pick up a gun. Last question.
I was just wondering, what specifically did President or Mr. Garland say on the topic of bail reform and release violent offenders?
So the president can speak for himself. I'm not his common director, so I'll just refer you to the White House on comments regarding bail reform and other political discussions directly from the White House. I'm not going to be the spokesman for the White House, but my pay grade, and I've got a full day of work to do beyond being a common director for the White House. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.